Hello! We're doing another one of those Entropik Seminars. But behold, we have another guest. You may recognize him from the Phoenixes and Dragons playlist. He is the black and blue dragon.
Yep.
My cholesterol. And this is the person... is it the only other? There's technically no. There's one other person I've made an Egregore with. This is the only person I've made an Egregore with whom I still like being around. Anyway. I brought him on the show today so we can talk about the time that we made an Egregore. So first and foremost, let's simplify the matter. What on earth is the difference between an Egregore and a servitor? Do you know?
Made by more than one person.
Yes. An Egregore is two or more people creating a thought form. Uncle Sam and Jesus are good examples. Whereas a servitor would be a piece of you or something that only one person made. There's a more detailed explanation in, what's his name? Heinrich? Was it Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa? Yeah. But anyway. The time we made an Egregore. Good. And, what do you remember about the experience? Like, if I didn't know shit about it, you wanted to walk me through what you did.
Like, just start from the very beginning with all of it?
Yeah.
Well, starts with the basic meditative trance type state. Clear your whole mind. You make your own circle around you. And because it was both of us, we had a circle around each of us. And there was a halo too. Yeah.
Yeah, I did a ring at the bottom and a ring at the top. So it forms a circuit and a protective barrier.
And then basically you materialize the egg and put your energy into it of what it is you're trying to create. And then set the egg and wait and let it manifest itself until it became the Egregore that he is today.
Pretty much. And we've done some funny shit with him too. I remember one time, one friend of ours got very, very drunk and decided he wanted to go fight another one of our friends who lived a couple blocks away. Being the bored motherfuckers that we are, we decided to not only tag along, but bring the newly entered into this universe Egregore with us. So we're standing out there. This man is screaming in the front door. Thus point, the guy he came there to fight is smart enough to not let him in. I decide to be an asshole. And I take my little talisman for this Egregore and I put him on the front doorstep with very simple instructions. Instigate some shit. Not only did shortly thereafter the door get open and we got to witness further altercations, which were actually a little bit disappointing, but that has nothing to do with the Egregore. That's just them both being pussies, not actually fighting. Or actually being friends. Who would have thought? But anyway, eventually the police get called by the person whose house it was. Now this part's funny. He loses his shit in such a way that he starts demanding that the cop arrest the other guy. The cop doesn't take kindly to that. I think he decides to swing on the cop, and so we get to watch this man get body slammed. We are less than 2 houses away, watching it. Excuse you. And anyway, what was I talking about? So the cop
slamming Stevie.
The cop slams this guy down, and the whole thing happens. We're all just, him and I are just watching this, and then it's
laughing hysterically.
Oh yeah, no, like just smoking, watching, and then I decide to walk up, basically in the middle of what's happening. There's a cop, there's a drunk person. thing you don't usually do. Legit walk straight up into it and grab my talisman off the front stoop. Go back to where I was standing. They continue to have this altercation, and the cops are just like, go home. Never even asked us for our names or a witness testimony. I had to give witness testimony on the train because the bitch wouldn't get off. And they had to call the cops on her. So it's interesting what tiny things these egregores can slip into being that just cumulatively make your life a little easier. Now, when we made our egregore, it was basically a process of creating a clean environment and then constructing him within that hermetically sealed by magic area. Now, once he was done, his egg was given some pillars with basic instructions, and we shut down the external spheres in circles and just had this thing. And we left it in the corner for like 4 days, and it was legit heavy. You'd feel it in the air. It's intense. And this was one, it's really funny because like I'm trying to teach him some basic shit, and he's like, I don't really care. And I end up learning about this, and I bring it up to him. It's just the most interesting thing ever. Oh, an advanced practice. Let's try that first. Not bad for a first timer. And it goes on. The egregore in question has served some interesting purposes. I will occasionally use my servitors to get me extra tips at work. Surprisingly effective. And I could go into greater details if you have any questions. I could like write down for you what we did, like visualize the pillars and the egg and yada yada. But essentially, create an area that is clean, separate, and you put some energy into it, and then you have to mold that energy. Our egregore was different in the sense that we chose his name beforehand. I always just ask my servitors after they're born what their names are. They give me some weird ass answers. But anyway, that's about it. Do you have anything else to add about it?
The only thing I would say is that everyone kind of has like different purposes. If you make one servitor or egregore, it's not necessarily that they will do everything. Our that we made was based off of will. So the main thing he helps with is making our will or our
Just our
energy
willpower in general
into reality easier. I use them a lot because my job requires me to exercise. So if I feel
endlessly.
when I start feeling tired or sore tackling a hill, it just seeing him, talking to him for a couple seconds, and my legs just don't hurt as much anymore, you know?
He's there to help.
Right?
If another way to think of them, to think of servitors and egregores even, is like background programs in a computer. Like how Linux has daemons. You know, those are programs that are doing stuff whether or not you are inputting to the system, but they have a job within the system, you know. And that's about it. That's the time that Black and Gold Phoenix and Black and Blue Dragon made an egregore. Woo! And stuff.